This video is the fourth in my series explaining each Kingdom Hearts game before I go over everything and make it all make sense. So if you missed any of those, I suggest you go back and watch those first. This being the fourth video, at this point we're going to skip the bits that I put at the start of every other video because I'm kind of determined to get this video to an exact time. That, and I'm sure anyone who's watched the first three are kind of sick of seeing that. So this video is for 358/2 days. This game came out for the DS in 2009. Play as Roxas, but you can also play as any of the other members of the organization in the non-story mode stuff. This is basically what happens with Roxas before the events of Kingdom Hearts 2. We get to see how he became friends with Axel in his time in the organization, as well as something I don't think any of us were expecting at the time. Before we go over the story, well, this game is before 2 in the timeline, it's after 2 in the release order, so we have knowledge of things that we wouldn't know if we played this first. That being said, beware spoilers. This version of the video only goes over the need-to-know things that we need to understand, while the extended version, for members only, goes over the entire game day by day. No, there's not 358 days to go over, I think I'd go insane. About a week after Roxas is found and named by Xemnas, joining as the 13th member of the organization, a 14th member joins. Keep in mind these guys were called 13 when they didn't have 13 yet, so I don't think they really care about being accurate. Roxas and Axel become friends, and when Axel gets assigned to Castle Oblivion with the side mission to take out traitors, Roxas gets put on missions with Xion. On the second day of missions together, Xion finally takes off her hood, and she kinda looks like a black-haired Kairi from the first game. So on the same day that we learn that Xion is able to use the Keyblade, Roxas starts taking Xion up to the clock tower for ice cream after missions like Axel did for him. At some point, due to events happening in Chain of Memories at the same time, Roxas falls asleep until Sora gets put into that egg thing, and Naminé starts fixing his memories. Axel returns as the sole survivor of Castle Oblivion, and the three become best friends over the next few months. Once Axel is back, we see some scenes with him and Saïx, implying that not only did they know each other before becoming nobodies, as shown by Saïx calling Axel by his true name, that the two seem to have their own agenda, namely figuring out what Xemnas is. Saïx wants to find the Chamber of Waking that Xemnas is looking for within Castle Oblivion. This chamber is mentioned in Kingdom Hearts 2 as part of a pair, with the other being the Chamber of Repose that's located under the lab in Hollow Bastion/Radiant Garden. Axel informs Saïx that while he took out the traitors, he also took out Vexen and Zexion, numbers 4 and 6, so that Saïx, number 7, would be higher in rank and closer to Xemnas. Although Axel does lie to Saïx about not knowing how Naminé escaped, when we know, having played Chain of Memories, that he's the reason. For a little over 20 days, Xion can't seem to summon her own Keyblade anymore, though when she can summon it again, over time she and Roxas notice that she seems to be getting stronger while he seems to be getting weaker. We learn the reason for this is because Xion is actually a puppet the organization made to copy Roxas' powers, since the Keyblade is the only thing that can release hearts into Kingdom Hearts. However, along with his powers, Roxas is unknowingly giving Xion some of Sora's memories. Specifically his memories of Kairi, which is why she looks the way she does. At some point, Xion is sent to take out an imposter. This is where she first meets Riku, who calls her Keyblade a sham. Wanting to know more about where she comes from, Xion finds a computer entry that Saïx made about Castle Oblivion, and sometime later she runs away to investigate, finding the truth and remembering that she came from Castle Oblivion. She's found again by Riku, who explains when Sora's memories were scattered, some of them ended up in Xion. We also see a scene of Naminé talking to Riku and explaining that basically in order for Sora to wake up sooner rather than later, Xion will need to disappear because Diz doesn't want to wait any longer than he has to. Naminé can't just jump in and separate her memories because somehow if she messes up, there's a possibility that no one will remember Sora, somehow? Oh, and everyone's just gonna forget that Xion existed because that's how it works, apparently? I don't understand her powers. Axel lets Xion run away for the nth time, and when they're back at Castle That Never Was, he tries to explain to Roxas what Xion really is, but Roxas runs off, only to then hear about it during a meeting. Roxas runs away because he's not getting any answers about himself. Meanwhile, Xion goes to meet Naminé. Then Axel is sent to bring Xion back, again, and I don't know how Xemnas convinced these people that they don't have feelings.
What's your problem?
Listen to this man.
No one would miss me.
That's not true. I would.
Listen to the emotion. Back to Roxas, who didn't get very far. Xion meets him up on the clock tower where they share some ice cream before she suddenly looks like Sora, and then she's a giant thing that he has to fight, and then she's crystallizing. Roxas goes back to the world that never was to destroy Kingdom Hearts because Xion said that Xemnas can't be allowed to have it, but the memory is fading, as shown by Riku mentioning.
It's a struggle just to remember the name now.
They fight, and at first Roxas wins, but after giving into the darkness, Riku knocks him out and brings him to Diz. They put him into a digital Twilight Town while Naminé fixes Sora's memories, and thus Kingdom Hearts 2 starts. That's it for 358/2 days. The next game I'll be covering is Coded, then Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, and 3. Thanks so much for watching. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next one.